Anyway, let's get into recaps. We got a couple of things. We got a Weebabos called, what was it Weebabos called? Like, Missing Ice?
Missing Ice or Replacing Ice or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Ice Bear feels unappreciated because he is, so he walks out of the cave and he gets a place at a teppanyaki restaurant, which there's a great Akewood joke. He said teppanyaki is just watching a man do knife tricks while serving you Japanese fast food.
I mean, it's good though. That's my favorite thing to eat.
It's good as hell.
I loved it because
so
this is the first time I've seen that shit animated, and I was like, yeah, he's doing the thing with the and flipping it with the egg, yeah.
And
actually,
whoa!
Second time I've seen it. The Powerpuff Girls one where Mojo Jojo's their babysitter, but it's kind of like more
did
like
it just like really fast,
smeared.
like
yeah. Whereas this is like they're trying to actually
make
it
the
look
onion
like
volcano.
It.
That's like my favorite part.
I love the onion volcano. It's been so long since I've been to a fucking hibachi place because they only exist in like suburbs with a lot of white people.
Yeah, man, come up here. There's like 3. They're just called hibachi.
Yeah, because the thing is that like you go to these places and it's like, okay, I've seen they do all the same knife tricks and they do this in volcano and like I kind of get it, I just want my shrimp. But then, like, it would add a whole new level of novelty to see a polar bear do those knife tricks.
I think, like, my favorite, like, not even a thing, like, it's not a trick, but they still do it, is when they got the shaker and they take the fork and it's like, like, they make it clank.
Yeah,
yeah. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
I can do that.
It's just dope.
But it's cool when they do it.
Yeah,
so
cool.
They try to replace Ice Bear with some dude named Daryl, who's played by Mel Rodriguez, who you may know as Todd from Last Man on Earth. He showed up in the last episode I watched before I gave up on that show. He's just like a man who sells mouse pads in 2016. And I want to bet, I want to hope that there were like some cut jokes about he's just like one day away from bankruptcy constantly.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not sustainable.
No. And they do custom prints, too? Dog. Can't keep that up.
So they try to put him in the Ice Bear role, and he's like, this is hard, and you're pushing me around, I'm done with this. And they're like, we made a mistake. But, Ice Bear is such the best at teppanyaki that he already like left the store to go the restaurant to go someplace better. So there's this whole chase bit where they enlist Daryl to get him to the airport, and it's a comedy of errors and it's great. And they get there and they think that they missed the plane to Tokyo that he's on. It turns out he's just making teppanyaki at the airport. And they reconcile.
Yeah.
And Daryl has to go to jail.
But he doesn't care.
Yeah, I felt bad about that. I was like, poor Daryl.
He'll do fine.
Yeah, and there was another Bears that we didn't cover last week. I don't know if you guys watched it or not, called Rooms, I think.
Yeah.
I saw it, but I saw that it was there. I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Yeah.
Did we talk talk about the one before that with the park ranger?
We didn't.
I don't know.
I don't think we did because this is the first time I watched it.
No,
if you did talk about it, it was one of those ones where I pretended I saw it and it just didn't say much.
I think we mentioned her in our We Bear Bears episode.
Yeah, it would have been then. It would have been in a recap. I think we mentioned it briefly
because I watched that one tonight and she's fucking great and she needs to come back.
Did you recognize who that was?
No.
Cameron Esposito.
Oh shit. Nice.
Yeah, the second animation role of hers that I know, because she was also Carol in the Tower episode of Adventure Time.
Yeah.
She was the cloud person who had Esposito's real life side mullet haircut.
But the Rooms one, basically they all switch rooms and then accidentally, but then on purpose dig up dirt on each other and then they get mad.
Yeah.
And then fucking Ice Bear is living that Griffin McElroy dream with the Japanese toilet. he was literally just talking about that in something else, and then it made me think of that.
In Cool Games
Yeah.
Inc. We're talking about using it as an alarm.
I gotta tell you, seeing it in cartoon form kind of swayed me. I'm interested.
Oh no, I'm totally interested. I mean, if you've got even the slightest amount of butt problems, that thing is like a dream.
I also liked Grizz's movie that he made by himself. I forget what it was called. Shit. Nina, do you remember?
Oh shit. Oh man, it was like Danger-esque.
Yeah, it was basically Grizz's Danger-esque. Now that you couch it in those terms, it's exactly what it is.
Oh, I've got to watch that one.
And he makes like a schlubby fuck up character to be his sidekick, and it's just him in a black and white sweater, and his name is Pando.
Because like I was mentioning earlier about how I love bad acting in character.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Danger-esque is the epitome of that.
Oh man, so good.
Danger-esque is so good. And then there was a really good Clarence, really good Clarence, called Skateboard Sumo or something, where it's another one. It's sumo centric, so it's excellent because he's the most compelling character.
He's my precious baby boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas,
he's got the most nuance to him. He's the most interesting. They can do the most interesting stuff with him.
Yeah, whereas, Jeff is pretty trenched in his being Jeff, and Clarence is Clarence, in a different way than Jeff is Jeff, but, Sumo has the most sort of, opportunity for growth, I guess, or room for growth. Hence
we
why
see some of that in this episode.
Yeah.
He and Clarence are fucking around. And then Chelsea and Rita. And I don't know if we've seen Rita before. But, Chelsea's the girl that he kissed at one time.
That's true.
Shows up and hey, Sumo, you want to come skateboard and meet us at the Rough Riders? And he's like, So he's got to do that. So with Clarence, they make their own shit. He makes a skateboard just out of, wheels and a plank of wood and Clarence tries to bedazzle one skate and fucks it up.
but Sumo's dad is like,
those are my good beads.
Yeah, but then Sumo's dad's like, I like what you did with them beads.
Oh man.
So they meet up with Chelsea and them, and they're gonna go skate in the pool because Chelsea and Rita are like, we're extreme, and Sumo's like, Clarence, I don't think you can hang. Please sit this one out, and I'm gonna go do this. And Clarence is obviously very hurt, and Sumo feels bad about it. So they go to this empty pool, and they realize that what they think is extreme is just fucking up in fun ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's seeing how you can flip the board just with your hands.
I mean, it's pretty much every kid who starts skateboarding, and they're like, yeah, I have a skateboard, I'm cool, and nobody actually knows how to skateboard.
3 people do, and 2 of them are Tony Hawk.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing about skateboarding is every time you see some kids in a parking lot skateboarding, they're always fucking up. They never do the tricks right.
Yeah.
Although I've talked to people from California, and apparently in the West Coast you'll sometimes see people do it. Here on the East Coast, you never see anybody do a skateboard trick successfully.
Or I imagine in the middle.
Oh, the Midwest, fuck, man.
They
don't even have ramps.
3/4 of the people who own skateboards don't know how to skateboard. I think in general.
Well, do tricks. A lot of people, nowadays when I see kids skateboarding, they just use them like bikes. It's just locomotion. But when people try to do tricks, they always fuck it up.
Yep.
And I'm glad they do, because that makes it entertaining.
Oh, it's so great to see them,
they
land on the back of the board, oh shit.
See,
I don't even see them really chomp it, really break their teeth against a car. They just try to do a kickflip, but the board lands upside down.
Yeah, it's either they've broken every bone, or it's just oh, watch this. Oh wait, fuck.
Oh, fuck up. Let's start the camera over. We're gonna get this. So, Clarence comes back and is about to caveman into the pool before they manage to stop him because he would have definitely died. There's an 8-foot drop onto ceramic,
he kicked his
concrete?
Foot out and all the wheels flew off.
Yeah!
And then the wheels did the coolest tricks.
Yeah, and everybody was like, yeah, woo!
So they just get in the pool and start ruining it with their skateboards and like throwing chicken nuggets and all the sauce. Rita was a fun character because she's just like kept talking about chicken nugget sauce.
Yeah, like she kept just talking about anything.
Yeah.
She was just one of those girls who just keeps going and going and going and going. And Chelsea's just like, okay.
Yeah. But in that very little kid way, she's not like, she doesn't know what she's going to say all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it turns out it was Benson's pool and they ruined it. And then they threw a chicken nugget through his window and onto his TV.
Good.
Fuck that kid.
A saucy chicken nugget.
Alright. I really want to talk about some of the shoutouts we've gotten, especially in response to our previous episode. Because it went over really, really well.
Great.
I'm glad. I'm sure part of that was Tooch's work, cutting out when we fucked up.
It was only like 2 things.
Yeah. I want to start with a piece of constructive criticism we got on Twitter from @Woodswake, or maybe Woodswake. Mm-hmm. They said, other than some pronoun troubles, you guys did pretty good, but just letting you know that GQ/non-gender binary people... Just letting you know that the genderqueer/non-binary people are also considered to be trans, as trans is an umbrella term, so trans people, not trans plus genderqueer. And this I didn't know. This is good to know.
Huh, I didn't... I was taught differently.
I mean, words change.
And then F to M and M to F are kind of outdated terms at this point. It's mostly vocab stuff.
I do know that is kind of outdated because it implies that
M
and F is a certain thing. Like, I did see assigned F to assigned M.
Yeah.
But nobody really does that anyway.
And they also would have preferred you to call the main characters by their chosen pronouns, but I get the confusion. The thing is that in the context of the show, in the slice of their story that we got, they
called themselves boy and girl.
Yeah, they weren't on
even
the
though
pronoun
they don't
game.
Want to be those things.
They don't know they have a choice, really.
Yeah, and that was the point of the show, is that, and it's something we talked about, is that, like, the language used in the show wasn't up to date on queer politics because the kids themselves didn't know it. And actually, Nina, you read the manga, and would you like to share where the characters ended up? Because I think a lot of people would like to know that.
Right. So for Takatsuki?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that was their name. What happens with them, and I am going to continue to say them, because at the end of high school, they become a model, and at first they're like kind of an androgynous sort of model, but then they start becoming more feminized, and they start questioning whether they want to become, quote, become a man. Because, again, these are the types of phrases that these characters use to describe these things, because that's all they know. And whether or not they really want to transition all the way, or what their deal is. So they end off pretty vague, actually, of where they stand as far as their gender identity and gender dysphoria goes. Partly because they probably don't know that you don't have to be one or the other.
You can just say fuck the whole thing.
Yeah, there's a middle that a lot of people don't know about. And there's also, you can just jump off of that spectrum.
Just fuck it. Just exist. That sounds nice. That sounds great.
And so the manga ends with them not really knowing that that's a thing they can do and not really being sure where they're going to go from there. Nitori goes back to dating Anna. They get back together and they're dating them consistently. And then Nitori, decides that she does want to become a fully...
She wants to transition.
She wants to transition fully. And so she goes to college, and is going to undergo the full process, the biological process with hormones and everything, and continues to date Anna. And Anna's like, I mean, I guess that makes me lesbian, but I don't care. I like you.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing, is like that labeling when you date somebody and then they transition, and like we're not getting into that.
Yeah.
That's a whole discussion.
Mako-chan becomes more confident in themselves or in herself. She comes out to her mom, and her mom is like, "You're the cutest!" And it's adorable. Yeah. And then crazy girl Chiba chills the fuck out and then dates that one dude.
Cool.
That was
good
into her.
I guess.
And then Tooch's commentary to Nina posting that in our Skype chat. Imagine if the end of the anime was just text under a freeze frame of each character a la Animal House, and she becomes president like John Belushi's character.
That is my headcanon, since I'm not going to read the manga. I can probably edit that together, like, tomorrow.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
What was it? What was the credit? Was it Shout?
No, it was some really shitty, like, Animal House, like, theme song that only got used then.
Shout would be better if you were to do this.
Yeah, but I think either way we would get a copyright strike, and I don't want that.
Anyway, I noticed that we got some a lot of the most positive response we got was from people who are in a position similar to me, where they're also figuring shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody,
or the characters themselves.
Yeah. Somebody messaged my personal Tumblr, which is nickytherat.tumblr.com. I don't really post on there much, but if you want to get in touch with me, there is acceptable. Oh, and Tooch, I'm going to ask him if it's okay to talk about this, so you may have to cut this, but I'm just going to say it.
Oh, okay.
Just listening to your Wandering Son episode with my boyfriend and listening to you talk about your own gender stuff encouraged him to open up to me about his gender stuff that he's been stewing in for a while. We had a great heart-to-heart, and I ended up teaching him some makeup stuff, and it was really nice. I feel even closer to him now, and I don't think we could have had this connection if you hadn't shared about your own experiences. Thanks for being awesome.
Dang.
That's incredible.
Dang.
I mean that's I actually started seeing a therapist this week about gender stuff, and one thing I was talking to her about is that, like,
and they're not shitty like the last therapist you saw.
No.
Oh God.
What we said is that, like, I feel like a lot of people would find themselves somewhere in the middle if they were more willing to really assess themselves. And that's not to say that, like, there aren't going to be people who assess themselves and realize, no, I am cis. The same way, I think it's also the same thing with sexuality. Like, yeah you can, really assess what your sexuality is, and then maybe that you're completely zero on the Kinsey scale, straight as an arrow. But, a lot of people, just because of, societal programming and conditioning, just don't think about it. They don't open themselves up to that possibility. And, if the fact that I was able to, help one other person assess themselves in that way, really, that's really amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it is, and it's something that everybody needs to do.
Do it.
Do it, and I'm glad the episode went over well. I know we flubbed a couple times here and there, but that's sort of the nature of the beast. Unfortunately, the language is constantly changing. What people are comfortable with are constantly changing. And I think that's okay. If you don't know everything, but you want to give it a shot, you want to explore, you shouldn't feel like isolated from doing so. Like, go ahead and dive right in and do whatever comes naturally to you, or what you want to do, or something you want to try out. Like, you can even identify primarily as cis and then just do non-quote cis things. I don't know.
Don't conform to gender norms because that's what's expected of you. Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
Do what you want to do because it's what you want to do. And don't give a crap. I mean, if you have that luxury.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
If you're younger and you live with a family that's not understanding.
Yeah, also don't put yourself in danger.
Exactly.
And also, don't come to us as, like, your primary source for help with this. We're trying our best, but we don't know that much. There are much better resources.
Exactly. But know that, you have a friend in us, and our show from the beginning has always been queer.
Yeah,
in general. We've been pretty queer, but also queer supportive as well. So, and you're great.
Some other stuff that we got on here. We Loco Laranja, or maybe Laranja, but I'm in a very Spanish mood right now. Asked us if we considered more European animation like Song of the Sea, Persepolis, Ernest and Celestine, Triplets of Belleville. It's certainly not off the table. I mean, it's stuff that we don't know as much about. I mean, except for like Song of the Sea. And actually, for next week's episode, we are going to do Secret of Kells, by the same studio, Song of the Sea, which is an Irish movie. It's on Netflix, and it's phenomenal and beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's got recommendations for Johnny Bravo and One Piece. I mean, we'd like to, but come on.
Yeah.
And Johnny Bravo, yeah, sure.
Let's talk about that meathead.
Yeah, I mean
that would be interesting to revisit with our modern sensibilities.
Oh, that sounds like such a fun
I actually
time,
did
though.
revisit it, and like it was kind of uncomfortable. Like I knew it was all couched as a joke and that he's terrible, but it was a little dicey.
Little Andrew Dicey Clay. Another terrible character. Anyway.
Yeah.
And One Piece is too fucking long. So like it's my favorite thing on the planet. I'm pretty confident we'll never be able to do it.
Oh my god, one of these persons at Woodswake, their icon is Zelos and Lloyd ship.
Oh, is that what that is? No, and I'm seeing it.
We're friends. We're best friends now. I mean, I'm not into that ship. I'm not against that ship. I just really like that franchise, and nobody else I know likes
what is it
either.
It's Tales of Symphonia.
Oh, right.
Okay. If you would like to contact us and reach out to us, you can send us an email, thetoongoons@gmail.com, tweet at us on Twitter, @thetoongoons, or send us an ask on Tumblr, thetoongoons.tumblr.com, which is also our main website where it's a place to go for updates. On Twitter, Tooch has been putting out like a preview of each episode, and they've all been great.
Yeah.
I haven't been paying attention to what this one's going to be. I'll have to try and remember.
I mean, you're going to edit the whole thing, so you'll...
Yeah.
Yeah, I always assumed you did them as you edited it.
Sometimes, but usually I'll remember them even after, like, the fact. And also I've started recently writing down the specific times when stuff I have to edit happens, so I don't have to listen to it anymore.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
Did you have a bit for this episode or did you expect Nikki to speak Spanish again?
Yeah, my bit was just that I'm white again.
Okay.
You can also find us on iTunes. Rate and review is always super helpful if a trite thing to ask for. We're on SoundCloud, Facebook, and YouTube. Tooch has also been putting up cutting room floor stuff called Toon Goofs about every week, and they're great.
Yeah,
because we're great and funny.
The Mets one went up today.
Oh, it did? Oh my
Yeah.
god. But, and we've also got a fan-run wiki and Reddit. You just Google for all these things. Like I said, we're doing Secret of Kells next. The week after that, Nina is graduating, so stuff is up in the air. We'll keep you posted.
Yeah, I'm graduating and moving and partying and packing, and my mom's coming. I don't know.
Gonna be a big week for Nina. Send her whatever you send.
Yeah.
Thoughts, prayers, money.
Pikachu dressed up as a graduate.
Pikachu. Just Pikachu. The fatter the better.
Yeah. Super fat.
Anyway, I've been Nikki. Oh,
I've
we're
been
not-
Nina.
okay.
What? No, Nick, you were saying something and you fucked up while Nina was saying it.
No, I was just saying I've been Nikki.
Oh,
Zebra Donkey.
and I'm Tooch.
Y gracias por tuning in.
Oh wait, fuck, I fucked that up. And I continue to be Tooch. I'll cut it so it's fine.
All right. I
Movie
trust you.
magic, it's all lies.
Ciao.